Another chance, episode 1 of Again My Life Stats with Kim Woo reading his prosecutor's oath. He's determined to keep people safe, and do so by any means necessary. That much is especially apparent in the next scene as Woo heads down to the docks. A whole bunch of gangsters stand in a line opposite the police. The cops don't have a warrant though, but that doesn't stop Woo. Woo approaches the criminals, takes one of their wood blocks, and smacks himself upside the head with it. Sporting a thin trickle of blood down his head, he uses this as incentive to head in and attack the gangsters, making it out like this was an unprovoked attack. Hui works with the other officers, taking them down and saving the day. At Jio Day Station, Woo is surrounded by reporters. There's a big corruption scandal going on and Woo is convinced that Jo Tae-seop is involved. The thing is, this guy has a lot of power, and no one has been able to come close to knocking him off his powerful perch. Despite gathering a fair amount of evidence and working day and night to build a case, he's put in his place by his superior, Kim Seok-hoon. He tells Woo that there's no point as he may not be able to get a conviction. Seok-hoon is also crooked, though, and he's aligned with Tae-seop. That much is apparent when he rings through and tells Tae-seop to prepare himself. Tae-seop is more interested in affairs with the Blue House. He calls himself the Kingmaker, paying his way to the top in order to control the country. Specifically, he wants his man, Assemblyman Jin, to take the president's seat. With the mistress-in-law used as blackmailing leverage, he's tasked with taking pictures of a military base. In doing so, Tae-seop will take care of the rest. Tae-seop is crooked to the bone, and he shrugs off questions from the press about murdering a head prosecutor in the past. Seok-hoon invites him into the office, warning what's happening with Woo and apologizing. However, this sort of corruption doesn't faze Woo, who adds Tae-seop into the interview room, calls him trash and berates him. Sadly, Tae-seop had got the jump on Woo. He takes out his key witness and systemically destroys the case. Their secret weapon has been kidnapped and left in a precarious position. While Tae-seop heads off to enjoy some spicy octopus, Tae-seop heads to the scene of the crime and fights with the assassin up on the rooftop. Unfortunately, Woo is thwarted and eventually injected with a lethal cocktail of meth and alcohol. He's to be made out to be a crooked, disgraced prosecutor. He's also thrown off the rooftop, plunging to the ground below. However, midway through his fall we cut forward to find Woo standing on the rooftop with a strange woman wearing red. This happens to be his guardian angel of sorts, and she cycles through key moments of his life. Woo's parents passed away in a hit-and-run accident, and he has been bullied all through his life. These two moments happen to be the catalyst for Woo getting into MMA and eventually becoming a prosecutor. He's reminded of his fruitless endeavor, was in how he should have had power, before going after Tae-seop. Interestingly, this woman in red decides to give him another chance, allowing Woo to show Tae-seop a living hell. You cannot catch the devil, unless you catch a bigger monster, she says, before fading out of view. In doing so, we cut back through time, earlier in the timeline. Woo is working at a convenience store, just after graduating high school. He's younger and has a lot more time to play with. A lot more time to build a case against Tae-seop too. This timeline is also right on the cusp of Woo's parents being killed. For now though, they're still alive. Naturally, Woo is ecstatic and incredibly happy, hugging them both. This helps to focus Woo's mind, determined to go after Tae-seop, but take his time to build a big case and destroy any chance of him bouncing back. Unfortunately, part of reliving this timeline stems from having to redo all your studies again. Wow, what a nightmare. Anyway, Woo works hard, determined to study voraciously and change his circumstances. The thing is, the date is May 17th, and on May 18th, his parents are killed in that hit-and-run accident. Woo is determined to try and change things, but he's not quite sure how. Woo picks up his parents from work on the night in question, but seemingly can't stop the inevitable. A black car comes storming down the road and appears to run both of Woo's parents. Again My Life has an excellent cast, and it's helped by a solid screenplay too. If I'm being super critical, some of the sound effects are quite distracting, but that's a minor point in what's otherwise a really solid opener. It would seem like Tae-seop has been at the forefront of all this drama since the very beginning, and potentially could be involved in the hit and run that killed his parents. If that's the case, why would he do that? That's still unclear, but there's a nice dynamic between the characters so far, and a simple but effective explanation for Woo being thrust back through time to change things. The light time travel elements are simple enough to process, and hopefully we don't have any stumbling time jumps that lack logic. Sisyphus. The myth. For now though, again my life gets off to a great start. This looks set to be a really solid Friday-Saturday night drama.